Frank, we're 2 weeks in. How do you feel with where the offense is at right now?
Well, you know what? After week one, we felt pretty good. We felt like we'd find out a lot about ourselves after week two of the Cincinnati game. Obviously, we did some good things, but we got to improve, and we're looking forward to seeing how we play Saturday night.
What does Phil have to do to connect with Bub more often? You guys took a lot of shots and weren't able to hit in this last one.
Yeah, you know what, Chris? Sometimes, it's like we all play golf, putting, hitting the ball. Sometimes, man, you're in such a great rhythm, you don't miss anything. Other times, you come up short. The most important thing is that you play one play at a time and you separate it. Football is the ultimate team game. Mm-hmm. It takes everyone out there to try to function as one to try to get the maximum execution.
How much of that was a problem of miscommunication, just not being on the same page, guys not reading things the same?
Well, I don't think it's miscommunication. I just think it's execution. When you call a running play or a passing play, it all starts up front. It takes everybody. So when we came in and watched the tape Sunday morning, we saw that, hey, we got to get everyone it starts with coaching, right? It starts with myself. It starts with coaching. We're all in this thing together, and we just got to get better execution.
Have you seen Phil take on respond to having a rough game and challenging himself while also challenging his teammates?
Well, it's not the first rough game that Phil and I have been through together. So I know how he responds. He loves football. He loves his teammates. He is an unbelievable competitor. He always looks at himself first. And I know he's really looking forward to getting back out there and playing again. The guy loves to compete. He loves to play.
Frank, where do you feel Phil is at from a mechanical standpoint? Do you feel there's anything that he needs to clean up?
Well, every quarterback, every player that plays football, regardless of the position, there's always things to clean up, right? We always talk about it. Look, life's difficult. Football's difficult. There's no such thing as perfect. We're striving for excellence. Any quarterback, Phil in this particular case, it all starts with trusting what you see, making good, decisive decisions in the passing game, and then throwing an accurate ball. And so many things come into that. You got to have good protection. You got to have the route on the same page. And, hey, that's why we love coaching, man. We love trying to put these guys in a position to be successful and see it come to fruition on game day.
What was he like Sunday morning when he came in here? Was he defiant, I'm going to get better? Was he determined? What was his attitude?
Well, Phil, once again, is the ultimate competitor, and he looks at himself first. The first thing he said to me was, hey, I'm going to play better. And we know he will. Every quarterback's gone through that. But when I saw him the next morning, I could tell that after watching the tape, he was like, hey, we're going to be good to go.
Frank, in 2 games, Rodney's touched the ball 12 times. Do you feel like he needs to be more involved?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I take a critical look at myself in terms of the game plan and the play calling. After the fact, yeah, I'd like to get Rodney more touches. I'd like to get the entire running back crew more touches.
Do you think the pass protection issues could have affected Phil early and prevented the passing game?
Absolutely. I mean, that is great. That's a great question. I've been blessed in this profession. I've told the offensive staff this story many times. I've coached with 6 NFL teams. I've sat around that NFL table where the head coach and the coordinators and the entire staff, you talk about how are we going to win this game? Because you put a plan together. How are we going to play the game? How are we going to win this game? And usually the first or second thing that comes out of the defensive coordinator's mouth is we got to hit the quarterback early and often. And when quarterbacks get hit early and often, it's hard and it multiplies. And you put them in a tough situation. Our pass pro must improve.
Frank, what went into the decision to put BJ in and starting lineup this last week? And, where do you feel he stood after, you watched the tape on Sunday?
Yeah, BJ had a great spring, true freshman, great spring. You could see that he's very talented. And for BJ, it was going to be a matter of time. And you don't want to rush it, right? You know what I mean? No reason to rush it. And then we just felt like after the first game and through his performance and how he had been practicing and playing, that it was time to put him in there.
Frank, you outlined a number of things to fix. How do you fix those quickly enough so you're ready for Saturday?
Well, that's why you practice, right? That's why you meet. It's why you practice. You got to trust your training. You got to believe in yourself. Just like today, man, I just walked off the practice field. We had a great day, man. It was a great day. Love these players, love these coaches. We got to do a better job coaching and hopefully put them in a position Saturday night to have success.
You talked about how Phil has responded this week. How have other, veteran guys like Jake Cradle, Blake Zubovic responded from Saturday?
Oh, I think you've seen a great positive response. When we talked as an offense, which would have been yesterday morning, that's when you address the offense, talk about the keys to victory. I could tell they were really excited and hungry to get back to work and earn the right for victory.
So I know that, Phil and the focus for quarterbacks are to get the ball to the open man, make your decisions based off of what the defense is doing and trying to make the right reads. But how do you balance that with also getting the ball to guys like Gavin Bartholomew, who, when you guys got it to him on that one drive, you walked right down the field.
Yeah, that's pretty.
But it's tough to get him the ball when people are trying to take him away.
Yeah. Well, you know what? There's a balance. There's a balance in the passing game as there is in the run game in terms of the schemes you're running, who you're trying to feature as the primary receiver in the passing game. Ultimately, where does the ball go is based on the defensive coverage. Hopefully, you see every game day that we distribute the ball to our playmakers. Gavin's done a great job.
To follow up on that, were there opportunities for Gavin out there that you guys maybe just didn't hit on for some reason?
Yeah, there's that one play that comes to mind earlier in the game. It's actually the same route that he caught the touchdown pass on that, maybe if the ball location's a little more on the back shoulder, maybe it's a touchdown. There's always opportunities missed. Regardless of how well a guy plays, there's always going to be missed opportunities. You try to maximize your opportunities and minimize the mistakes.
The last two games, I've seen red zone opportunities when you guys lined up and kind of caught the defense off guard and then just couldn't get the ball off in time. What has to go into those moments?
That even reminds me back in 2009 when we went up and played Buffalo and we did all the motion shifting and Doran's out there all by himself, and it takes the operation of the quarterback to see it and then get the quicker cadence to the center to get the ball snapped and get the ball put out there. Being around Aaron Rodgers, he's the best at it. That's where we're trying to go.
Right, you're familiar obviously with this rivalry. What do you expect from down there? How do you prepare your offense for some of the noise and what they're going to find down there?
Yeah, well, first off, Coach Narduzzi does a great job preparing the entire football program. You go out there to practice and you practice the crowd noise and, the different cadences, silent cadences that you need. I think we're all familiar with Morgantown. It's a very passionate town, passionate state. They love football, and it's the best rivalry there is. It's a backyard brawl. It's going to be a lot of fun.
What goes through an offensive coordinator's mind? You're watching a game from the booth. Your quarterback's struggling. You've coached for a long time. You've been around. I'm sure the thought crosses your mind, hey, let's see what someone else can do.
Yeah.
What's the thought process as you're sort of...
Well, the thought process is first, you got to really know why. Whether it's your quarterback or maybe it's even your runner. You got to really know why are we not getting the desired results. And we know those results are hard to begin with. The disadvantage of college football over pro football. Pro football, man, you're sitting in that box and you got an iPad next to you. And you see every play. In college football, you can't see everything. So based on where your eye discipline is, you're relying on a lot of other information. So when I came in here the next morning and I saw certain things, I felt a lot better about our quarterback play. I wouldn't want to put any quarterback in that position and situation. That starts with me. You know what I mean? Not one time did I ever think about changing quarterbacks. We have a starting quarterback, and we have a backup and a third. And, I would treat them all the same. I love all three guys. And as the course of the game went, there was no reason to change. Because, there were some great plays that were made. Why don't we talk about some of the great plays that were made? Oh, my goodness, the touchdown pass, the 2 touchdown passes to Tay, and some of the other scramble efforts, it was unbelievable because, we were under duress, and that's what we got to get cleaned up.
Jared, this is the last one. Frank.
Oh, the last
You
one?
gotta go. Yep.
Okay, I'm sorry then.
That's
change
all right.
my-
You have the last one.
I'm
Go
going to
ahead.
change my question then.
Go ahead.
Back in the day, what are your best memories of the brawl?
Well, the one that really sticks out to me and is, you know, I'm a young kid, 1975. Bobby Bowden's the head coach of West Virginia University. My dad's the offensive coordinator. Pitt rolled in there. I believe, you know, Pitt was one of the top teams in the country. I think it was on ABC TV, and Bill McKenzie kicks the 39-yard field goal, last play of the game, and we beat Pitt 17-14. That was an unbelievable memory as a young kid to rush that field and just be part of this great backyard brawl, this rivalry.
You rushed